Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for May of 2021. There are a lot of relationship themes flying around for you this month, and that applies to relationships, whether they're for business or pleasure. So your relationships are seeing a lot of activity. And if that brings up questions in your mind and you want to find out about it through an astrology reading, the best choice would probably be the lifelong love reading. And you'll find a link for that in the YouTube description below. Well, you might notice we've got somebody new with us today, and that's Betsy Cardis. She's joining our practice. We're really happy and excited to bring Betsy on board. And today, Betsy's going to tell you about Venus. But before we get to that, I'm going to tell you some things about the moons. We have the usual 2 moons this month, a new moon followed by a full moon, but the full moon's an eclipse. But let's get the new moon out of the way first. It happens on May 11th, and you can see it right here. The sun and the moon together in Taurus in your 6th house, which is the arena of service and work and health and organizing and handling details and systems of all kinds. So when the moon lands there, especially on new moon, which is about new beginnings and planting seeds, this is a really good time to put some new systems into place that can make things run more smoothly in the future. And that applies to home too. Systems are systems, and the new systems that you incept or birth this month have the chance of being, really adding to the tranquility and also adding to the transformation factor. And the reason for that is that Pluto over here forms a lovely trine to this moon. And that's one of the reasons why we're calling this the lotus in the swamp, because the moon in Taurus has that peaceful quality of the lotus, and Pluto has the swampy quality of transformation. So yeah. And so some of that beautiful quality of peace can be effected in your arena of work or the systems that you set up at home. Now, the second moon I want to tell you about is the eclipse, and it's happening a couple of weeks later on the 26th. And it's right here in, right here in the sign of Sagittarius, which is your 1st house, right? And the sun is opposite to it here in Gemini in the 7th house. So again, the relationship themes come up. And this is kind of a sort of a self versus other kind of a theme here. The moon in Sagittarius, especially being eclipsed, is going to stir up a lot of emotion for you. It's going to feel really personal. And a lot of it is going to be about some cherished beliefs that you hold dear, but which may actually be a manifestation of your shadow. And it might take other people like your partner or even people that you regard as your adversary to argue with you and bring that out. So, where you can actually see it. So you can definitely expect some conflict around this eclipse, but also expect to see something about yourself that maybe you couldn't have seen before. We're calling this one Get Off Your Pulpit and Be Curious. So Julia, I think you've got some news about Mercury.
I sure do, Jamie. Well, hey there, Sagittarius. Mercury is that planet that represents how we communicate as well as how we think. And the first couple of days of the month, including last month too, Mercury is in your 6th house. This house is actually ruled by the sign Virgo, the sign of organization. So this was a fantastic start to your spring cleaning, let's say, where you were really putting your mind onto your systems, whether that's cleaning up your hard drive, cleaning up your Tupperware, but very, very good time for organizing and getting all buttoned up. But very early in the month, May 3rd, Mercury is going to move into your 7th house. This is the house of partnership. This is also the house of consultants too. Wherever we have Mercury is where we spend a lot of our time communicating. So you might notice that you get your best ideas when you can have a partner to sort of bounce them off of. And since it's also the house of consultants, a wonderful time if you need to think through an issue, whether it's a legal issue, a health issue, by hiring somebody else who could maybe give you a little guidance and help. Then Mars, the planet of action and activity, is in the sign of Cancer all month, which correlates with your 8th house of other people's money. Now, other people's money means that the money that you share with the people closest to you in your life. So that could be an inheritance from a family. It could be a joint credit card with a partner. It can also include sharing money with institutions as well, such as loans, mortgages, etc. Wherever we have Mars is where we really put our energy. So you could be very driven in terms of other people's money, maybe investing into stocks, perhaps trying to, refinance your mortgage or something of that nature. But wherever we have Mars, we can also run into conflict as well. So there might be some flare-ups with the people closest to you in terms of money this month as well. So just watch out for that.
Hey, Julia.
Yeah.
Hey, Julia, do you think, it just occurs to me that Mars in the 6th house, could that correlate to running up against some challenges if you're trying to get like an insurance payout, for example?
Oh, Mars is in the 8th house. Yes.
8th
But
house,
it
right. Sorry.
could certainly do that if you're trying to get approved for a loan or something like that. There could be some frustrations along the way with that for sure.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, but Betsy's got some on a lighter note. She's going to talk about Venus for us this month too, right, Betsy?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Sagittarius. So Venus starts the month in your 6th house in Taurus. So you may have been beautifying your space a little bit more, your workspace especially. But then for most of May, on May 8th, Venus moves into your 7th house, into Gemini. And it's a great time to have conversations with your partner, whether it's your romantic partner or a business partner or a consultant, as Julia said. You're going to really feel the pull and the passion to harmonize and balance those relationships. And with Venus and Gemini, you'll be able to speak your passion and really talk about what you desire and what you value about the relationship. So don't be afraid to open up and share what you really want with your partner.
So much sweetness there. So what we're seeing is that over the course of the month, this gathering of planets that had previously been in Taurus moves along into the Gemini 7th house zone for you, which is the domain of relationships. And so that's really where the emphasis is. It's on, who is that there with me? Who is that partner? Who is that person that balances me? And how do I relate to them? And having all these planets there brings a lot of emphasis to that arena. Gemini is mutable air. And so this is the season of, air in motion without directionality. I always like to imagine a field with butterflies and bees and flowers and birds and lots of activity and motion, not a lot of direction, and a lot of beauty as well. So get some stimulation in Gemini season. Well, we have made something nice for you, at least we'd like to think so. It's a set of videos about how do astrologers cope with their own transits. You'd think that we have, a special in, and perhaps we do, have a special in with the universe, and certainly we can see stuff coming, but, we're people too, and we have experiences, and those are often reflected in astrology. So we made some videos to kind of, transparently give you a little peek behind the curtain into the world of how we cope as well. So I hope you enjoy that. You'll find it in our YouTube channel's playlist for May 2021 news. And you'll also find the news of the month on our website, pandoraastrology.com, on the forecast page. And our horoscopes will be there too for you always every month. And on our website, you can also get a reading or take a class. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.